Hey, what's going on guys? This is Kedar here, and today in this video we have got the latest stimulus check update for inflation relief checks. Is stimulus payment coming to your state? And many people ask me this question, that is my state getting stimulus check inflation relief checks? Well, don't worry, we have compiled over 17 states that have already either passed or they have planned to put their money back into their residents' pocket by sending out a rebate checks, refunds, credits and stimulus money in all sorts of forms. Details for each and every state are different with changing amount of relief payments. Each state has got different income limits, eligibility criteria, payment schedules, deadlines. Make sure to watch this video till the end to see if your state is among the 17 states that are issuing the inflation relief payments coming this October and months ahead. We have gathered all the latest information from reputable sources and compiled it and boiled it down to a shortest form possible. So I hope this will save a lot of your time as well. So make sure to smash that like button for me guys. And we upload 2-3 videos per day compiling down such a latest stimulus update in a short form videos so that you'll get latest stimulus update and all that. So do check out other videos from our channel and make sure to subscribe to our channel with bell notification turn on so you will never miss our latest videos. And with that being said, smash that like button and let's get right into the video. So well, inflation is still remains to be high and the consumer prices continues to steadily increase. Fortunately, some individual states are providing relief in the form of inflation relief checks. According to the latest update, there are over 17 states that have either already passed or they have planned to put money back into the residents' pockets, either by sending rebate checks, refunds, or some sort of a stimulus money in order to combat the effects of sustained inflation. And these acts of generosity are coming at a time when the most state governments are experiencing budget surplus and many state governors are running for re-election as well. And it's the time of a re-election that we get most amount of stimulus money for obvious reasons. And regardless of motive, residents will likely be grateful for what they can get. While looking at the 17 states, well, we can clearly see every state rebate is different with varying relief amounts available, income limits, also the eligibility criteria, payment deadlines, and schedules. In order to see your state, whether your state is among the 17 states that are issuing the inflation relief rebate payments, well, let's check out all of those 17 states each one by one. So starting with the first state, we have got update from Colorado, and eligible Colorado residents can able to receive the amount of $750 for individual filers and $1,500 for joint filers. Speaking of when they should expect the payment, well, the payment should arrive by end of the September 2022. As per the income limits and eligibility criteria goes, well, there is no restrictions regarding that, and the Colorado cashback rebate is limited to tax filers who were 18 years old or more than that as of December 31st. Also, second thing, they must lived in Colorado for the entirety of the year 2021 and they must have filed a state tax return during the year 2021 income tax year. So there it is for Colorado residents. They can able to receive $750 for individuals and $1,500 for joint filers. They can expect at the end of September 2022. Speaking of next state, we have got update from Delaware, and these rebate payments go up to $300 for individuals, and for joint filers they can claim $600. And speaking of when they should expect the payments, well, these payments are already issued in the May 2022 to those people who have filed their 2020 state tax returns. Speaking of the income limits and eligibility criteria, there is no such restrictions, and 2022 Delaware Relief Rebate Program is for residents who either have filed a 2020 or 2021 tax return or they were 18 years or older as of December 31st, 2021. You can check your rebate status on the state's website on finance.delaware.gov. You need to put your social security number, last name, and date of birth to inquire your rebate status. Speaking of the next state, we have got update from Florida. Florida residents can receive $450, and well, you should expect these payments automatically being sent based on database query by state officials. Speaking of the income limits and eligibility, well, there is no such restrictions, and according to the reports, Governor Ron DeSantis announced this one-time $450 rebate checks exclusively for low-income earners who are participating in the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, that is TANF program, and families caring for children can qualify for these checks, as well as if they are part of the guardianship assistance program, they can qualify for this one. Also, foster parents can qualify for this one. Moving over to the next state, we have got latest update from Georgia, and well, Georgia residents can able to receive $250 for single tax filers and up to $375 for heads of households. And well, couples filing jointly can able to receive up to $500. Now, when this payment are expected? Currently, these payments are sent via checks or via direct deposit as of August 2022, though the state has advised that it may take some time for all the refunds to be processed. Speaking of the income limits and eligibility, Georgia's special one-time tax refund has no income limit, but it is limited to residents with a tax liability in the 2020 tax year, provided that they have filed state tax returns for both 2020 and 2021. Moving over to the Hawaii residents will receive amount based on the income for the 2021 tax year, and they should expect the payments because these payments are sent by September 12th, 2022 as mailed in the checks or in the form of direct deposit. Speaking of limits and eligibility for the Act 115 refund is based on the income for the year 2021 tax year, but single filers who earned less than $100,000 or couples who earned less than $200,000, well, those people will receive $300 each, and the benefit will also apply for the households with dependents, which means that the family of four would receive $1,200, and taxpayers who earn $100,000 or more or couples who earn $200,000 or more, well, they will receive $100 each, and they can also claim for their dependents as well. Next one, speaking of Idaho residents can receive $300 for individual filers, while joint filers can receive $600, or they can receive 10% of the income taxes paid for the year 2020, and they will receive the amount whichever is greater. Speaking of when you should expect your payment, well, most of the payments have already been mailed, but newer checks are still in the process. They are still processing, so it may take some more time. Speaking of eligibility, well, there is no such income restrictions and eligibility, but part of Idaho state's surplus will go into the residents who filed income taxes for both 2020 and 2021 tax years. Moving over to the next state, we have got update from Illinois. Single filers are able to receive $50, while joint filers can get $100, and tax filers can also receive $100 per dependent, and maximum they can claim 3 dependents in a household, and they should expect the payments in the form of mail or direct deposit, and payments are sent by mail or direct deposit as of September 12th, but it will take roughly 8 weeks for everyone to receive these funds. Speaking of income limits and eligibility, Illinois residents who have filed 2021 taxes are eligible for these rebates, totaling $50 for single filers who earn less than $200,000 in the year 2021, and $100 for joint filers who earn less than $400,000 in the year 2021. Also, they can claim $100 rebates per dependent for maximum of 3 dependents. That means they can claim up to $400 in Illinois tax refund. Next one, speaking of Indiana, single filers and joint tax filers for the tax year 2020 will receive one-time rebates of $125 and $250 respectively. This is regardless of the income limits. In the August, Indiana legislature passed another round of rebates amounting to $200 for single filers and $400 for joint filers, and residents might receive a mail check for combined payments totaling up to $325 for individuals and $650 for married couples filing jointly. 2020. Most of these residents received these funds earlier in the summer 2022 via direct deposit or mail check. However, these payments sent by the mail are still experiencing delays related to supply chain issues. And speaking of income limits and eligibility, there is no such restrictions. Taxpayer refunds are available to single and joint filers for the tax year 2020. Speaking of the next state, we have got update from Maine, and Maine residents are able to receive $850, and the first round of the relief checks were mailed in the June 2022, but checks are being sent out until the end of the year. Speaking of the income limits and eligibility, well, these checks are limited to those people who make $100,000 or less for single filers and $150,000 or less for heads of households and $200,000 or less for couples filing jointly. However, you must be a full year resident and file 2021 tax return by October 31st, 2022. So make sure you remember this deadline as it's approaching very soon. Speaking of Massachusetts, well, the amount is to be yet to be determined. And speaking of limits and eligibility, according to reports, amounts of Massachusetts upcoming rebate checks will be determined in the late October, but it will be available for full year residents who file 2021 tax return before October 17. So keep yourself updated on mass.gov Chapter 62F taxpayer refunds website. Checks are automatic rebates based on the state law, and it will be likely be worth 13% of each resident 2021 income tax liability. And moving over to the next state, we have got update from New Jersey, and for each child under age 6, they can receive up to $500, and there is also a property tax rebates available for state depending on income limits. Speaking of when you should expect the payments, we still didn't got any sort of information. Speaking of income limits and eligibility, well, there is no restriction of such kind. Residents must claim at least one dependent child, and they must have a 2020 tax balance of $1 or more in order to qualify for New Jersey middle class tax rebate, and you must have a New Jersey gross income of $150,000 or less for individuals, and those who are filing jointly, married people and heads of household or surviving spouses with income limit $75,000 or less, whether they are filing individually or separately, they are eligible for these payments. Speaking of New Mexico, well, New Mexico residents are getting the first disbursement as a part of automatic rebate of $250 for single filers and $500 for joint filers and heads of households. Second payment is $500 for single filers and $1,000 for joint filers and heads of households. And speaking of when you should expect these payments, well, first disbursement sent in July already. Speaking of the second disbursement, it has been sent in the August or shortly after filing a 2021 tax returns. As per the income limits and eligibility goes, New Mexico residents that fall into the following income limits are eligible for the state rebate. Single filers who earn less than $75,000 and joint filers and heads of households who earn less than $150,000 are eligible for the second rebate, are eligible for this one. And for the second rebate, there is no income threshold as of right now stated. Speaking of New York, the amount for homeowner property tax rebate, well, the average amount for that one is $1,050, and a second one-time property tax rebate is of $150 introduced in the August 2022, and beneficiaries started receiving this rebate in the June already, and second rebate started to be processed at the end of August. So you should expect this payment very soon. Speaking of the income limits and eligibility, New York has two tax relief checks available to its residents. For homeowner rebate, residents need to qualify for the school tax relief, that is STAR program, and they must have an income below $250,000 for year 2020 tax year, and they must have school tax liability for the 2022 and 2023 school year that is more than their 2022 STAR benefit. And for the second rebate, the property you are claiming must be your primary residence, and your annual income must have been less than or equal to $250,000 for the tax year 2020. You can check out more details on New York Department of Finance on property tax rebate. Speaking of Pennsylvania, the amount this bonus rebate follows a previous rebate that recipient claimed in 2021, and this new rebate will amount 70% of the original rebate. That means the claimant who received maximum standard rebate of $650 in the year 2021 will now receive additional one-time bonus rebate of $455. And well, this new rebate will be sent in the month of the September 2022, and there is no income limit restriction. Pennsylvania's one-time bonus rebates for the 2021 claimants are for low-income homeowners enrolled in Pennsylvania's property tax/rent rebate program, and in order to be eligible, homeowners must be 65 or older, and widows and widowers at age 50 and older, and people with disabilities should be at least 18 years old or more than that in order to claim either of this rebate. You can also visit MyPath website for all the latest details. Speaking of South Carolina, estimate of $700 maximum amount will be calculated by state's Department of Revenue sometimes after October 17th. These funds will be sent by December 31st, 2022, but no sooner than October 17th. And there is no income limit restrictions. Eligibility is entirely based on South Carolina residents who have a tax liability in their 2021 returns. Speaking of Virginia, single filers can receive $250 while joint filers can receive $500. Residents who have filed their tax returns by July 1st, they should receive their rebate via direct deposit or mailed by checks by October 31st. And residents with tax returns filed between July 1st and November 1st, well, they should receive their rebate within 4 months of their filing date. There is no income limit restrictions. If you are Virginia residents with tax liability in 2021 or your 2020 tax returns is filed by November 1st, then you qualify for this state's one-time tax rebate for Virginia. And speaking of California, well, Californian residents can receive up to $1,050 tax rebate paid as a direct deposit or in form of debit card, and they should expect these payments between October 2022 and January 2023. And for those people who are earning $250,000 or less as individuals and $500,000 or less as heads of household or couple filing jointly, well, you can qualify for the California rebate if you are California resident for at least 6 months during 2020, and Californian residents should receive up to $1,050 tax rebate. So with that being said, that sums up all the details regarding 17 states which are issuing stimulus checks of some form to their residents to relieve their residents from the rising high inflation. And videos of this kind do take lots of efforts, so make sure to hit that like button, guys, and make sure to check out other videos from our channel. We have compiled lots of other stimulus updates in short videos like this, and subscribe to our channel with bell notification turn on. That will keep you posted on latest stimulus update. And thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and this is Kedar from How To Guys signing out.